72 questions. You guys sent in 72 questions for my Q&A get to know me video, and unfortunately I could not do all 72 questions, so I broke it down to 21, hence the title for today, 21 questions. Let's get into them. Okay, so since you guys had so many questions, I had to just break them into two categories so that we could have a little bit more fun and be a little bit more organized. I broke them down into two categories: dating and lifestyle. So, obviously, dating is for all the dating questions, which I knew I would get, and lifestyle, which would be the umbrella for beauty, travel, friendship, all kinds of things like how to do this, blah, 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 all that. So we're going to start with the fun stuff, extra fun stuff, dating. Let's get into question number one. What are green flags for you while dating? Green flags. Green flags, someone who communicates very well. I love me a good communicator. Who Green flags, someone who is respectful. Someone who is respectful. I am sorry that, no, I'm not. Being respectful is such a sexy act to me. It just shows you are a disciplined person. Even because we all get angry, we all have our moments, but it just tells me who you are with me and who I assume you also are with other people, and that is very attractive to me. So someone who is respectful. Those are two of my green flags I'm going to touch on right now so we can get into the other questions. Do you think spinning the block is a good decision if you and the person didn't have a bad breakup? I personally, let me ask, it depends on how did the person make you feel. I understand that the general idea of a breakup is possibly because two people, possibly a lot of times, two people couldn't necessarily see eye to eye. Maybe it's the wrong timing. What they're different. There's so many different reasons. People fall out of love, that kind of stuff. But however, I don't. I like to trust myself, and I do think I'm a very good decision maker. I am human and I do make mistakes. I do make bad decisions as well. Trust me, okay? But however, I do trust myself if I choose to break up with someone, because I know I'm the type of person to give grace and give chances. I do, within reason. I really, really do, and I like to oppose. Maybe years ago I wouldn't be as lenient. Trust me, I was very. But now I am. I give grace, and I try to understand from a different perspective as best as I can. So when I say I'm done, it is usually, yeah, this has to, because of whatever my reason is. I know it's a good reason. So for me to revisit, I would say not necessarily. Not necessarily. Here's where I might revisit that. If, say it's like distance, say maybe distance got in the way, but you guys still love each other, you guys still care about each other, I possibly would, like, if I ran into them again in the future and there is still that love and that longing, I possibly would. I can't tell you I wouldn't. I've never spun the block before, so I don't know how that situation goes, and I'm a little scared to find out. No, it's gonna be a no for me. You can do what you choose, but it's gonna be a no for me. All right, what are your dating non-negotiables? Dating non-negotiables, back to the beginning, someone who is a good communicator. I love communication. That is one of the things that I thrive on through all my relationships, friendships, family, all that stuff. I do think proper communication makes things a little bit better, or a lot better rather. I won't lie, a lot better. But it depends on the kind of relationship you have with a person. But anyway, number one, non negotiable for me is a good communicator. Number two, non negotiable for me is someone who is respectful. Like I said earlier, I find I find respect to be so attractive. It's a very attractive trait. Knowing that, because we all get angry, we all have our ways, but knowing that even in the moment of anger, you find the time to be like, you know what, let me go sit this out for a bit, or you say, you know what, let me get off the phone, or let me go home if you're in person, whatever it is, before I do or say anything that is going to make us even worse, or you know what I mean, or fall into or say things that we really really don't mean. I find respect to be attractive. So those two things are my non-negotiables that I will discuss for right now. What advice do you have about dating boundaries? I don't have advice I do not have advice for date. I don't want to give anyone dating advice. I will only speak on my experiences and maybe the experiences of the people closest to me, but I would not give dating advice. But boundaries, I do heavily believe in boundaries, and not only in dating, but again in friendships, family, like all of your relationships, there, in my opinion, you should have boundaries. I have boundaries in my life. I've set them. The only thing is you're going to have to be prepared for the men or whoever it is that you date to not be they won't be accepting of your boundaries, and that is going to be where you guys it's going to make or it's going to break you guys, and you guys are going to have to really fight if you choose to. If not, you go your separate ways. But not everybody's going to be accepting of those boundaries, but I do believe that they are necessary. Let's get into the last question, and that is, are you single? I knew this question was coming. I knew this question was coming. Are you single? Yes, I am single. Yes, I am single. I just knew it. When I put out these questions a couple weeks ago or a month ago or something, I just knew that this question was going to be one of the most popular questions. I haven't looked back on all of the questions because I wanted to be surprised by them when I'm answering them. But I'm going to look back and see how many people asked that question. But I'm sure it is a lot. Any travel tips? Um, oh, travel tips. Number one, always try to have the currency of that place that you're going to. Always try to have that currency before you get to the country. Always try as best as possible. Get the currency of that country if you can, before you get to the country. Number two, always have, if the embassy of your country, well, if you're an American, I'm not sure about other countries, but I'm pretty sure they should be there where you're going. If you're an American, then you would make sure you have the address of and the phone number and phone number, email of the American embassy in the country that you're going to. If you have a point of contact there, that's even better, but just make sure you have that and have the general idea of how to get there in case of an emergency. That's my travel tip. Someone says, I've been following you for a couple years and I realize you seem private. How do you maintain an online presence while keeping yourself private? Girl. Yes, you are right. I'm a very private person. I will not lie. I love my privacy. Privacy is power. People can't get to ruin what they don't know. And you deserve that. You know, not every part of you needs to be shared with everyone and or the internet. Yeah. How do I maintain that? Like I was saying, I don't share everything. I know what I respect and what I value, which brings us back earlier to what I was saying about a guy who's respectful, and if he respects and values whoever he's with, then there's certain things he doesn't do. That's how I live. I I just don't share things that mean a lot to me. I don't want to share everything. If I may give you a here and there thing from time to time, but don't expect me to involve you in every aspect. So I have so much content on my phone that I do not post. I don't. And it's not a bragging thing. It's just I like keeping some parts of my life for me. Very simple. You mentioned you used to being insecure about the negative attention you get about your figure. How do you handle that now? Hmm. I I don't care anymore. And here's where I don't care anymore. I have decided not to allow disgusting people dictate how I live my life. And unfortunately, for those men, they fall in that category as well. So I wear what I want now. I mean, I'm still never going to be a provocative dressing person, but I have, I'm slim and I have a curvy physique. I have to live with that. That's the body I have. And you are going to have to live with that because it's not yours. Okay? That's the mentality I have now. Um, None of those, all the things I used to be insecure about, like, you know, tying the sweater around my waist because I just didn't like the attention. That if you see a sweater around my waist now, it's because that's the look I'm going for that day. Please be advised, that girl, she's gone. I'm proud of me. So if you're watching this and you feel the same way, you don't like the sexual attention you constantly get about your body, I pray that you get to that place mentally where you're like, no, this is not okay. I'm going to live my life how I want to live my life and not have to constantly hide or cover myself because of uncouth men. That's it. What are your favorite beauty non negotiables? Ooh, number one is doing my skincare at night. I have to do my skincare at night. If I fall asleep and I wake up at like 3 in the morning, I'm gonna get up and go do my skincare. I don't care, but I need to do my skincare. Me sleeping over at your house, yeah, I'm either gonna stop to buy skincare or, and I possibly won't. I'm gonna go home. Plus, I love my bed. So yeah, number one non-negotiable is skincare has to be done at night. Number two, no picking of my skin, like no picking of like acne, pimples, none of those things. No picking of my skin. No, I used to be a skin picker and my skin was so bad years ago. So, oh, girl, when that hormonal acne was kicking my butt, mm-mm, mm-mm. So no, no more, no more, no skin picking. Beauty non-negotiables. What else? I like smelling good. I really love, that's one of my favorite compliments. Oh, you smell good. I love smelling good. So that is a non-negotiable for me. Love that. Okay, so these questions are, y'all are in my business. How did you learn to do your makeup? Um, how did I learn to do my makeup? Trial and error, honestly. I didn't learn from anyone in particular. I learned from several people online, but I started with trial and error. At the time, I didn't I don't even know if there were people on YouTube doing makeup at the time. I think at the time YouTube was just for music, and I started like not young. As a teenager, I did start as a teenager, but I used to just wear foundation, girl. And then I started, you know, when I started wearing blush, like 2 years ago, I think, three years ago. Yeah, I never used to like blush. I think it just, I didn't know. I thought it made you look, I don't know, too done. But then there's so many methods that came out, and I decided to try, and I like it subtle like this. I don't like when it's too bright. I just feel like I feel too cooked. Okay, I can't. I can't. Um, yeah, no, that is how I learned. I just tried. I promise you, if you keep practicing, even if you're not going anywhere, because if you wait until you're actually going somewhere, well, if you're like me, because I don't go out very often, um, then you are not gonna learn. You just have to just do it. You don't have to do it every day, but you're gonna have to do trials. Watch videos. There's so many on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, like so many. Snapchat. Just go wherever and you'll find tutorials, including myself. Okay. I promise I'm gonna post more makeup tutorials and things that I do, makeup tips. I promise. I promise you. I got you. How do you handle criticism online? How do I handle criticism online? I don't know. I guess it depends on the day. It depends on the day. I won't lie. It depends on the day. But overall, in general, I don't typically allow people who do not know me to dictate my mood. I just, people in general, but people who don't know you, I just don't think it makes sense. It's kind of mad if you ask me. They're gonna say stuff. Listen, I live in the comment section on social media, and I can tell you, I've seen people write really stupid things, just absolute nonsense. And I'm like, how did you get to this conclusion? How people don't think. So sometimes it depends on the situation. I may respond to some people in a certain way. I'm not gonna be nasty, because the internet is forever. You not gonna no. I don't have any desire to do that. Maybe the old me would have, but not today, Shari. I wouldn't. So I really don't. I don't feed into it. Basically, is what I'm saying. I don't feed into it, or I simply block. Block. That's it, girl. That is it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Interesting. I like this actually. Your content is nice, but I wish you would post more consistently. Okay. I agree too. I wish I could post more consistently. However, I just believe in, if I feel like I need a break, I'm going to take a break. So yes, even I love posting for you guys to see. I love posting for my own memories and stuff. However, I do allow myself a break sometimes, especially because I'm always busy, and I also want to live a little and rest a little in between. I don't want to always be online or be going out or anything like that. I love allowing myself to rest. I have some things lined up that will keep me a little bit more consistent. And when I say consistent, I mean just posting every week, not posting every day. Please be clear on this. But if you follow me on other socials like TikTok, you'll see that I post as well. Maybe a little more often than I do on YouTube. But thank you for that. I agree. But I also had set some boundaries, you know? All right. What are your biggest lessons so far? Girl, this is... I have so many. I'm just gonna go down to the nitty gritty. I have so many. Number one, people are going to change. People are going to change. You yourself are going to change. And unfortunately, sometimes that change causes people to go their separate ways. And it's a part of life. It's a part of life, regardless of how you feel about it. But It's not always something negative. It's not always something negative, but people do change. Sometimes people change for the better, sometimes people change for the worst. But change is a part of life. That's essentially what I'm saying. And whether you are prepared for it or not, people do change. And whether you like how they have changed or not, people do change. Another lesson that I had to learn, I have so many. I'm just really trying to narrow them down in my brain so that I can tell you. Another lesson I've learned, how you treat people is not necessarily how they will treat you. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. It's a very sad reality. I don't treat people a certain way because I want to be treated a certain way. I treat people like that because that's my character. That's just my character. So that's why I treat people like that. Um it's tough though. It is and heartbreaking sometimes when people don't, put out what you also put out. But I always say, as you are a giver, there are people who are takers, and that's just a part of life. Hmm. Where are the next places you will travel to? I mean, I'm not going to give you a playbook of where I'm going, stalker, but there are a few places that I am going that are on my list. That are on my list. Um, Certain parts of Asia first. I want to travel Asia, as much of Asia as I would like to, but I think the first three for me are Japan, Bali. I think I want to visit that little, is Palawan, that's the name of it. I'm in love with it. I am in love with that little island. There are other little islands that I want to visit, but like I said, I want to when I'm there, I don't want to just be in one place. I want to go to another place. So I think each Asia trip would be for me like 10 days to 2 weeks. 10 days, yeah, like a good 10 days, especially because it's so far. But yeah. Next place. Ooh, I want to visit more Caribbean islands. I've fallen in love with some islands that I need to visit, like Antigua. I do want to visit St. Lucia. I still haven't gone to St. Lucia yet. A few islands. I've been to quite a few, but I want to add those now to my list. Just beautiful. Those are some of the countries. I can't think of anyone else right now that I'm dying to go to. How do you see yourself? No, what are your favorite things to do? What are my favorite things to do? My favorite things to do: going to the beach, listening to music, laughing. I love to laugh. Love to laugh. And if you know me, you know I love to laugh. I love to mess around. I love jokes. Ha ha ha, he all day. Clown behavior. I love to laugh. And talking to the people I care about, like just talking about life, like I just, those chill conversations, and I'm that kind of girl, and going out to eat. I love food. I'm a foodie. Love to cook. Okay, that's it. Okay, thank you. How do you see yourself being? No, do you see yourself being an esthetician forever? Do I see myself being an esthetician forever? I could. I love being an esthetician. Do I have other plans? Absolutely, they're underway. But I could. Yeah, I could. While of course, and while I'm setting my own schedule, absolutely, of course, because I can go and travel and do all the things that I love to do in between. Then yeah, why not? How do you keep your skincare routine consistent? I know I don't want my skin to look nasty because I love how I look without makeup. So in order for that to happen, you have to do maintenance. Skincare is not a one and done thing. And acne cannot be cured, it can be controlled. So I think about all those things. How am I going to look without makeup? That is very important to me. Very important to me. I love my skin. I don't want to be a shocker without makeup, okay? So that is my motivation. Do what you will. Do what you will. Any business advice for new entrepreneurs? Entrepreneur, what advice do I have really? You're number one, you're gonna have to be okay with being alone. You're gonna have to be okay with doing it on your own without anyone that you care about or anyone that you think that cares about you. You're gonna have to do it alone, because a lot of times those people don't show up in any way. They don't call to ask how everything is going. They don't visit the business. They don't support the business in any way, shape, or form. They don't even support the idea a lot of times. Those are your friends and your family. And it's going to be tough. Sometimes when you feel that way, you feel like, oh, I wish I had this person, or how come this person doesn't ask me how my day is going or how is business, and all the things. You're gonna have to be okay with being alone. Number two, you're gonna have to be teachable. You have to be teachable. You have to understand that yes, you may have a plan A, but plan A may not be the best for either that season, that location, that kind of business, whatever it is. It's all a learning lesson. You will have to be teachable, and if you're hard-headed, then you're going to fail, because you think you know everything, and how your way is set, that is it. No, you're gonna have to be teachable. I had to learn that. Okay, that's the advice I have for now for business owners. For now, what foundation do you use? My favorite foundation is one of my favorites, I'm not gonna lie, is the Lancome Tinty Doll. I talk about this all the time in a lot of my beauty videos. This is my favorite foundation, or one of my favorites. I am the shade 5, I think it's 540W. 520W, right? Yeah, I'm 520W. This thing, it's in black, so it's hard to see. It's kind of hard. But yeah, I am the shade 520W. I love this formula. It works so well for my skin. I don't get too oily. I'm not dry. It gives me the coverage that I like. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that's my go-to foundation. I have others though. I do have others in my routine. What are your favorite fashion items? My favorite fashion items? You mean like those individual pieces? I would say clothes first, clothing items first. Then for accessories, it would be shoes. I lie, it would be shoes first, then clothes, then bags and jewelry. Yeah, shoes, clothing, bag, then jewelry, in that order. We're on question 21, and this question says, would you change anything about your past? I think that's a good question to end this 21 question episode with. Would I change anything about my past? I will say this. Yes, there are events that I wish never happened. There are events that I wish never happened. However, outside of anything like death, anything violent or anything, unfortunately, no, there isn't anything I would change now thinking about it. A lot of things were just my lesson, something I had to learn. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's just a lesson that I had to learn at that time. someone I had to meet during a particular time to lead me to a certain direction. That's how I think life goes. And changing anything would probably, I would probably not be in this space where I'm at right now, mentally and physically. So no, I wouldn't change anything about my past. Thank you for asking me these 21 questions. I hope you got to understand me a little bit more. I am going to give you a bonus because no one really asked, or maybe you guys asked and I missed those. Like I said, I just blindly screenshotted some questions. I am a Jamaican native. I was born in Jamaica. Then I came to the US and I've been in New York for a couple years now. I absolutely love New York. I have a love-hate relationship with New York sometimes, but I love New York. I used to be a fashion model. I still do it sometimes on the side, like if a company reaches out or if a friend needs help, I will do it. I am an esthetician and I own a spa called Shire Richie Beauty. And what else? I love to cook. I love to laugh. And I'm about to get up out of here. Okay. Anyway, thank you for watching. Ciao, Bella.